Okay, and as we do every episode, we reflect on the last movie we watched, which this week was Bad Times at the El Royale. Alright, before we get, we do a nice little deep dive into the movie, what was your overall thought on Bad Times at the El Royale?
Well, I had no expectations going into expectations. Woo,
It
going
was
into the movie.
expectations.
It's like I had no expectations going into the movie because I hadn't seen the many trailers or previews. But when we finally did watch it, it was just a their movie. I didn't really see where they were trying to go at times. I felt like some of the stuff was pointless. It just was nah,
So you wasn't feeling it?
not really.
Okay. Yeah, before we saw it, I thought it looked pretty good. Like, I saw trailers, it didn't seem like a movie that was going to stand out to me for the year. But then I saw that it was getting, like, good reviews and stuff. It had a nice, I think a 72 at the time, like, when it came out, percent on Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like, oh, maybe this would be better than I thought. Then I saw it had, like, almost a 2.5 hour runtime. And I was like, why is this movie so long? Well, alright, I like the cast. Got Chris Hemsworth, they got John Hamm, Jeff Bridges.
Who's Jeff Bridges?
The old guy in the movie.
Oh, okay.
And it had Dakota Johnson, she's a known name. So I was like, alright, this might not be bad. Then we watched the movie, and I also wasn't feeling it that much. Like, we saw First Man before this, and y'all was like, that movie felt long. And I was like, it felt long only because I was tired. But, like, I still think it was a better movie. This genuinely felt long. Now, I don't know if it was because we was in the second row of the entire movie theater or what. Because being that close to the movie and you having to, like, angle your head in a certain way, it don't really equal to a pleasurable movie experience. What are you looking up? Are you getting distracted?
I'm looking up about the movie.
Oh, okay. Better be. Yes, I wasn't really feeling all that much. To get into the movie in depth, a nice little spoiler-filled reviews, as these always will be. First up,
Spoiler alert!
like I told you in the car, this movie felt very much like a knockoff Quentin Tarantino movie. It was dialogue heavy. It split the movie up into like, not even, it kind of did chapters.
I guess kind of like when
Yeah, he
they
did his own way,
like Room 4, they gave you the background story or the origin behind that person in that room.
Yeah, and it was like I said, it was dialogue heavy. It tried to split the movie up into parts, like Quentin Tarantino seems to do with some of his movies. Like, this one really reminded me of The Hateful Eight, his most recent.
But that was a good movie.
Yeah, this was trying to do its impression, or you could tell it was inspired by those type of movies, but it didn't do it nowhere near as well. Because The Hateful Eight was longer than this movie. Couldn't tell, because The Hateful Eight doesn't feel that long compared to this. This felt very long. This felt like it was leading up to something good, and then when it got there, it was like, that's it? The Hateful Eight led up to something, and it was more appealing, and the ride there was better, because the conversations that everybody was having was funny, especially Samuel L. Jackson's character. This, it was good, leading up to, I don't want to say, it was cool, but what could have made the movie good is if when we got to the end, you're like, all these secrets that the people staying at the hotel had, meshed together in some big reveal at the end. Nah. So as the movie went forward, I became like, I ain't liking this movie as much, and then I ain't liking this movie as much, and then almost 2 hours into the movie, when Chris Hemsworth gets in there, for one, don't have Chris Hemsworth in your movie and save him for almost 2 hours into the movie.
He should be a majority of the movie.
I literally looked at my phone, and when he officially came in there, the movie's been on for like a little more than an hour and 40 minutes.
When he came on the beach?
No, I'm talking about officially. Like, technically he wasn't officially in the movie because they try to like hide who he was.
Oh, I knew who he was on the beach.
No, you know who he was.
Who his character was.
That, and like they didn't fully show him. Like, he was shadowy, so a lot of his face was covered.
Okay.
But like, you knew who he was. But I'm saying when they officially like welcomed his character into the movie was about done.
Okay. kind of disappointed in his character.
I do like that he was a villain.
I know.
I thought that was cool.
I like that he was a villain, but I feel like he could have a better role.
He could have been they could have gave him something. I thought he did good as the villain. Mind you, I'm saying all this to the point where I was very sleepy at this time because this movie was lasting too long. My head was angled, or I had to angle it where I could see the whole screen instead of just being able to sit straight and looking at the screen. This is why I hate sitting so close in the movies. When we got in there, I was so ready to turn around and be like, let's go see something else. We can just
I'm
come
surprised
back.
You didn't.
I was about to. I was like, nah, let
packed.
me just suck it up and just deal with it. But I almost didn't. But, yeah, so I like that he was a villain, but I think they could have gave his character more, because to me he just felt like a blah cult leader, and I wanted more of that.
All the characters were blah.
Yeah, you thought they were going to be cool, like, I feel like I'm going out of order, but like John Hamm, I thought his character was interesting because he was like a little undercover, whatever.
Whatever he was. I don't even really know if he was a cop or not.
Yeah, they didn't really delve that deep into it, because by the time you started to learn more about him, he was gone, which was upsetting.
He was some type of agent, but I don't know what type of agent.
Yeah, and they didn't explain like how he knew to go through the phone.
Well, when he called his main office or whatever, they said that he couldn't leave until they got all of their surveillance equipment back. So that was their surveillance equipment that he was getting out. So he knew it was there, but I don't understand why it was there.
Okay, because it seemed like he knew he was looking for something, but when he found the first one in the phone, he was like surprised.
Well, he found two in the phone. The first one that he found in the phone, he was okay with.
Oh, okay.
He found the second one on the phone, and he was like, "This isn't ours."
Oh, so that's why he was going around trying to... Okay, that makes sense. And so it must have been the boss.
So I felt like I could be completely wrong because I don't think they even explained it. But you know how like the hotel keeper, the little boy.
Yeah, he said that
his bosses make him record stuff and they survey stuff. I'm assuming that John Hamm's character, their business, what's the word before? Tapped the rooms. And also the bosses tapped the room. Yeah. And they didn't know that each other did it.
What if Chris Hemsworth was the boss that was having the rooms tapped?
I don't know. I don't think he knew about it. Because when he asked, he was like, what is this? Some kind of pervert hotel? Like, he didn't really know.
Yeah. And why was he... Was he literally just came to get the girl at the end?
Legit. That's it.
Because I know she called him to come get her.
Yeah.
Then he came with his boys to pick her up. And then he was doing... he was interrogating Dakota Johnson's character, then ended up killing her.
I don't think he was interrogating her.
What was he doing? Because I was partly asleep for that.
So, when he showed up, as he was walking into the main part of the hotel, he saw the black lady and the old guy coming out of the room. So he was like, grab them.
Yeah, I saw that.
I guess, no witnesses or whatever. And then he just tied everybody up.
But he was asking questions, though, right?
I think he was asking questions just to be a jerk. I don't think he really interrogated her.
Oh, they was playing that Russian roulette game. Okay, that's what I got confused.
Russian roulette game.
So it was like a lose-lose situation for them.
Yeah, he was interrogating the black man and the old person because they had a bag of money.
Black woman?
The black woman and the old man. He was interrogating them because they had the money. Like, he really didn't interrogate the hotel keeper. He just tied him up. I'm thinking him and Dakota Johnson were just, he didn't want them as witnesses, and he was mad at Dakota Johnson for taking the girl to begin with.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, yeah, I thought he did a good job as the villain because there's something we're not used to seeing from him.
I know,
But he needed to be in the movie more.
I was disappointed in the movie in itself, so I was sad that he was in a movie that I was disappointed in. Because I like
his filmography is not as great as it should be, which is upsetting.
He's a good actor, and
he's a great actor.
Right, but like you said, I feel like he's not in a great movies. He's in movies that could be disappointing. Unfortunately, I feel like he could be having so much better. Yeah,
I've been telling, I've been saying before, like outside of the MCU, he doesn't. I wouldn't say it's sketchy, but like there's some of the movies that he chooses, I'm just like, why? He's just like a part of movies that just don't end up being good. Like he was in Star Trek, which was good, but he had a small role.
Right, like he could have had a better role in that.
He was a nobody then. That was his first ever movie.
Well, okay, but in the newer ones, they made a new one, right? They could have had more flashback scenes brought in for Chris Hemsworth.
He was supposed to be in like the fourth one they're in development, but
or they're in space. You can do time travel and whatnot.
That's what they were going to do. He was going to play, because he plays Captain Kirk's dad.
Right.
So they were going to do a time travel scenario where him and Chris Pine are both starring in the movie. But what's it called? The company was trying to scale the budget back, and they were trying to cut his paycheck and Chris Pine's paycheck and like just, lower a little bit. And them two are like, we're superstars. You ain't about to cut our pay in half. Facts. But yeah, like after Thor, he did the Cabin in the Woods, but technically Cabin in the Woods was shot before Thor, and Cabin in the Woods is great. He did the Snow White and the Huntsman, which was Red Dawn was cool when I saw it.
I don't even know what Red Dawn is.
Yeah, it got Josh Peck in it. Star Trek Into Darkness, which is a voice cameo. Rush, I really liked. You don't.
I think I liked it. It was just long and slow.
It was good. Black Hat, didn't see it, but it looked terrible. And it got bad reviews. He had a funny role in Vacation. I thought that movie was funny. It got panned. In the Heart of the Sea was whack. The Huntsman Winter's War was terrible. Ghostbusters, he was very funny. The movie itself was lackluster. 12 Strong was okay.
Wait, what is Heart of the Sea?
It's the Moby Dick movie.
Oh my gosh, that movie was ridiculous.
Movie was cheeks.
That whale was a stalker. Yeah, how does a whale do that?
The movie was cheeks. That's all that really needs to be said about it. So he has like I think for the actor of his caliber, he could have a way better filmography outside of the MCU. But to go all the way back to my first point, when I compared this movie to a Quentin Tarantino movie, like I said, it was dialogue heavy, split up into parts, was building up to something, and that build up was supposed to be like a violent, chaotic ending. They didn't really get too violent. The most violent thing happened in the middle of the movie where John Hamm got shot with the shotgun.
Well, maybe you were asleep when they were fighting over the fire and whatnot.
That wasn't much. Like I see when everybody got shot at the end of the shoulder and all that stuff, or Jeff Bridges in the middle got hit with the glass bottle over his head. But what I'm saying, when Chris Hemsworth's character came, him and Jeff Bridges had an all-out fight. They were fighting and they fell into a fireplace and. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I was in and out, but it wasn't something that was that was going to keep me up officially. It wasn't.
Well, maybe that was supposed to be their big.
I ain't gonna believe Jeff Bridges is having a fight with Chris Hemsworth.
They did.
But I'm not. But if I see that half sleep, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's good. Let me keep watching that. I'm gonna be like, this is fake. Back to sleep. I'm just saying that was their violent scene. But I'm saying everything he did was such a weak impression of Quentin Tarantino. I don't know if that was Drew Goddard. I believe that's the director's name, who's also a talented director. Did Cabin in the Woods, but I don't know if that was his intention. But that's how it came off to me. And why did Dakota Johnson's character shoot John Hamm like that?
I don't know why she shot him.
Like, you could have just easily explained. I mean, I know she had a traumatic past.
Maybe she thought he was with Chris Hemsworth people. I don't know.
Maybe, but it just seemed...
Because she didn't need to shoot him.
Yeah, especially not with a shotgun.
No.
It was very over the top.
If you saw what John Hamm's character was doing, he was trying to save her sister. So if she wanted to explain, like, my sister was trapped in a cult and I'm trying to, what's the word? Rehabilitate her or whatever. I feel like John would have understood because he was just trying to help.
Her sister was also trash too. She got all of them killed.
Her sister was trash. She didn't care. All she cared about was Chris Hemsworth's character.
Yeah, where they be fighting over his love at that over the fire that he had in the woods or whatever.
Just having a teenage fight club.
Moving on, I already mentioned how it felt long, and it seemed like the movie wanted the dialogue to carry the movie, but it didn't really necessarily. At the beginning, it was doing a decent job at it. Going forward, it was just like, all right, this is what you're bringing me to, then I'm not satisfied with what I'm seeing. I'm already complained about Chris Hemsworth being brought into the movie too late. Like I said, the secrets of the characters weren't big reveals like I thought. Like I thought when she was calling this little sister was calling this chaotic fella, it was going to be like some big like reasoning and why and all that jazz. And I thought at the beginning, when the black lady, I don't know her character's name, Delilah or something. Mm-hmm. Was it that?
No.
Okay.
Darlene.
That was close. When she had she was pulling in the carpets and stuff from her trunk. Mm-hmm. I was like, ooh, maybe she got a dead body in one of those. No. Just for her to cover up the walls so she cannot disturb people to sing.
She was trying to be a buffer. She was trying to be nice.
Super whack. And I knew.
Well, maybe everybody wasn't supposed to have a secret though.
But that's what they was promoting the movie as.
Oh.
Like some secrets. And then I
have no idea. I don't remember.
I believe that's what the posters were saying.
But she was the one person who didn't have secrets.
She kind of had one, but not really.
What was her secret? She was a singer, that was it.
She was getting low paid and low balled and kind of like, sexually harassed.
Yes.
And then when we saw the cool beginning of the movie with, what's his name? Oh, man, I'm blanking.
You liked the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't really care for it.
I thought, it was long.
You talking about when the guy checked into the hotel room?
Yeah, where he did all that to hide the money.
Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick Offerman. Yeah, I like that, and I knew that was gonna be something major in the movie going forward. Like somebody would have a connection to him, and like somebody would have like a connection to who killed him. Did they ever say who killed him?
No.
Okay.
No, he just said my brother got killed here.
Yeah, I didn't like that whole Jeff Bridges connection too. I thought it would be something more. But
maybe it was. Remember how there were 3 guys in the robbery or whatever?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the 3rd guy.
Maybe. I was just.
They did leave him there. They left him there.
Well, maybe I don't know. What else? Yeah, all in all, I just wasn't impressed by this movie. I don't see why people like it so much.
Me either.
It was just there.
It was just kind of there.
And I was too busy.
Whatever they were, like you said, whatever they were trying to build up to, it was a disappointment.
Yeah, I think it was more. Yeah, I hate stuff where like, oh, this is good. It's leading up to something. And usually, if movies are like cool, and then it gets to the end, and I feel the end is a great payoff to what I just saw for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, then that makes me really enjoy the movie so much. You're able to go back and pay attention to like a little tidbits of things. Like that's why I like Enemies so much, because you're watching the whole movie and you're like, okay, I get what the story is. It's a doppelganger story, but then you just get to the end. You're like, what in the world did I just watch? So then you go back and see.
Walking through the streets.
So then you go. It wasn't walking through the streets. So you
walking
go back,
through the city.
It wasn't walking through the city either, but.
Where was the big old spider?
Oh, you're talking about the one that was over the city in one of those random little like cutaways?
Yeah, it's at the end.
That wasn't like at the end. At the very end, there was a spider in the bedroom.
I remember a big old spider walking around the city.
That's why you need to watch the movie again.
No,
but yeah, so I'd just like to say, nice try, Drew, but your Quentin Tarantino inspired film didn't make it for me, and you definitely lose points when you have a talent like Chris Hemsworth and you sell him as being the star of the movie, but you don't bring him into like about 2 hours into the movie. And you can always tell when a big celebrity won't have a big role in a movie, because like if you look at the credits, like the credits on like the posters and stuff and like the promotion, they'll have all their names and then it'll be like, and such and such. And that's how Chris Hemsworth was like Jeff Bridges, Dakota Johnson, John Hamm, whatever that other lady's name. Then it'll go, and Chris Hemsworth.
They should have said and John Hamm, because he was barely there too.
It might have, but yeah, having him get killed so early was annoying. All right.
Yeah.
So.
I did actually like. Well, his character was okay.
He was funny. He was entertaining. All right. So as always, we do it on a couple rating scale. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. What are you giving Bad Times at the El Royale?
What's our 1?
Bella and Edward.
Oh, Bella and Edward.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just think this movie was awful?
I don't care to ever watch it again.
Okay. I personally would give this Anastasia and Christian.
Hello, Anastasia and Christian?
No, just Anastasia and Christian, just right there, because it wasn't awful. It had things in it that I could enjoy, but overall, it was a disappointment. You like the
opening scene for some weird reason?
I like that opening scene.
I don't get it.
It was just entertaining.
Oh.
You know? And then everything has to make complete sense in the scheme of things. It just has to give a message in, the way that the director wants to give it off. Got to show your creativeness. Yeah, I just made that up. Creativeness.
Creativeness.
Yeah, creativeness. Y'all say creativity. I say creativeness.
All right.